Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Malty Monday. We're going to be looking into the GOSE.
Woo!
So, before we get into this, I first want to welcome my panel. I was hoping that I wouldn't have feedback, but
It's always me.
anyways, I was hoping I'd be able to have 10 members, on my panel without paying for StreamYard. Unfortunately, I still got to pay to get the 10. So that's sad news in the world today. But on panel, besides myself, we have Thrash Metal Homebrew, Barbecue.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having us, Bumpy.
Thanks for being here. John Anile. We have Miscellaneous Magnets.
Cheers,
Thomas
guys.
Metal 75.
What's up?
AKA Eric, AKA Massachusetts Beer Review, AKA Master Drummer. And we also have Beer Man.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Our very special guest tonight is down in the basement. It is Michael Komaroff. Say hello, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I want to say hello to the chat. We had Craft Beer Pours in here first. And when he says Bumpy, you all say, why Bumpy?
I'll say
Thanks,
Road
Brandon.
Brewery. Road Brewery.
But cheers, Anonymous Coward. Cheers to you. Thanks for joining up. We have Paul also. Glad I haven't missed any intelligent conversation in the chat.
Come on.
Beer Man, hello. And once again, we have B. Calm down, Gotti. Hey, Yarning with Angelus here. Hello, nice to see you.
Angelo.
Wonderful gents. And Brandon, he is still here, motherfuckers. All right. Let's go ahead and get into what the GOSE is. So this is off the BJCP historical beer. The overall impression on it is a highly carbonated, tart, fruity wheat ale with a restrained coriander and salt character and low bitterness. Very refreshing, with bright flavors and high attenuation. The comments on it, served in traditional cylindrical glasses. I'm using the wrong one. Maybe I can switch that up. Historical versions may
Changing
have
mine
been
right now.
more sour than modern examples due to spontaneous fermentation and may be blended with syrups, as is done with Berliner Weiss or Hummel, a liquor flavored with caraway, cumin, and fennel. Modern examples are inoculated with lactobacillus and are more balanced and generally don't need sweetening. Pronounced GOSE.
Goes.
GOSE. GOSE. It must be from Massachusetts.
Goes.
The history. Minor style associated with Leipzig, but originating in the Middle Ages in the town of Goslar on the GOSE River. Documented to have been in Leipzig by 1740. Leipzig was said to have 80 GOSE houses in 1900. Production declined significantly after World War II and ceased entirely in 1966.
Wow.
And then modern production was revived in the 1980s. That was our craft beer, start of the craft beer boom here, 1980s. So, but the beer is not widely available. But today, I think it is. From 2000, and I think this was like a 2015 write-up. So I think it's definitely gained in popularity lately. That's about it. So let's go ahead and bring up Thrash Metal to
cheers.
show us what he's GOSing with.
All right. What do I GOSE gotta? All right. So we have
Nice. Damn.
from Left Hand Brewing, we got Wheels Goes Around. Wheels goes around and around. Okay. So this thing comes in at a 4.4% ABV. Let's go ahead and crack her open. Left Hand Brewing's here in Colorado, Longmont, Colorado, to be exact. They're completely independent. I don't think they'll ever get bought out by the InBev people, but you never know because money always talks, right?
Indeed.
So if you look at the head on here and the color, you can tell it's a raspberry. Give him the raspberry. Okay, so let me bring my notes up. So Left Hand Brewing, Longmont, Colorado. It does have a best buy date of April 11th, 2021. Styles of GOSE, 4.4 and 14 IBUs. The brewer's comments: ale brewed with raspberry and lemon peel. The ingredients is Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, malted wheat, raspberry, lemon peel, hops, salt, and yeast. The beer's color, it's a bit cold. I keep my beers a bit colder than most people do, so I get sweating on the glass a lot. We get like a pink lemonade, a raspberry, light ruby look to it. The beer's clarity is opaque to clear. If you can see down here in the bottom portion here, you can actually see the bubbles rising in there. So it's not completely opaque. You can still see a little bit through it. You see shadows big time. The beer's head, raspberry, pink, white, dissipates pretty quick, but I had one earlier, and the carbonation is champagne enough to keep small amount of head to it. It is medium to tight bubbles, a little bit on the dishwashing suds type look to it, but it does cling to the glass very well. Let's go ahead and go for a smell. So on the smell, you get sour right off. You get the tart raspberry right in your nose. It's like that when you're eating a raspberry and it's not quite ripe enough, and you bite to the seed and you get that tannin from the seed, you get that tartness from the seed, and you get that you get kind of a barnyardy taste with it too, or the smell with it. Kind of you can smell the lactic acid in it as well. A little bit of sweetness with it, not too bad. Makes you want to drool. It's really good. The citrus notes on here, it's extremely light on the lemon peel. To be completely honest, you can almost not taste the lemon peel in this. It's mostly raspberry tartness in the nose completely, other than the lactic acid. You do get that barnyard smell to it as well. Let's go ahead and go for a taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
4.4, you're not going to have any legs, but it does have some good lacing to it. It's very fruit tart, if you know what I mean. You get a minor malt note in there, but it's really hidden by the lactic acid and that raspberry that's up front. Very good beer. It's very assertive and intense. That sour tart, it kind of causes a complex taste in your mouth. It envelops your mouth with the sourness of the lactic acid and the tartness from the raspberry. Like if you're eating that raspberry seed type thing, that's what this is like. It's like crushed raspberries, but you don't have all that sweetness. It's more of the sour, kind of a non-ripe raspberry. Let's see here. The tartness is all over your mouth. It dissipates to reveal a dryness all over your mouth. Fades to a light acid tartness that's refreshing. Actually, this is one of the better goses I've had. The other ones have attenuated down so much that they're so dry, they're almost champagne dry. And I don't like it when that happens, especially in a beer. You got to have that malt forwardness that helps keep it from going over that cliff, if you know what I mean. It's dry, fruity, it's acidic, it's quenching, and the acidity doesn't linger too long after you're done drinking it. The beer's mouthfeel is prickly and tingly. The beer's carbonation level is champagne-like, gassy, and sharp. The beer's body is light and delicate. So, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Salute.
Nice rundown on that.
That's the left hand. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
All right.
was.
Look at that.
Fancy.
Beautiful.
Fancy.
That's a nice segue into John and Nelly.
Oh man, I gotta follow that up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. That's why I started showing
All
up
right.
late.
Well, I am drinking. I had a few to choose from, but I decided to go with something a little lighter. This is from Terrapin Beer Company, originally out of Athens, Georgia. They have been bought up by Miller Coors, so the distribution, as far as I know, is pretty much nationwide now. This is their Watermelon Gose. Sorry for the glare there. Watermelon Gose. It is 4.5% alcohol. It is brewed with natural flavors and natural flavors added. So no artificial flavors in this. It's all natural. And I have had it before. It's $9.99 for a 6-pack. So pretty reasonable for craft beer prices. Even though technically, I guess, wouldn't call them a craft brewery anymore. Very fizzy, pouring it in the glass. You can just hear that head bubbling away. Very active. Lots of streaming bubbles going up the glass. It is a clear golden color, believe it or not. The aroma, very, very forward with the watermelon notes. It doesn't smell unnatural, but it doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess watermelon's not really a strong fruit aroma. It's more flavorful than aromatic. But what I'm getting with this is kind of like watermelon Jolly Rancher type nose. And it smells really good, actually. Maybe a little of that sea salt coriander coming through on the nose as well. A light wheat malt note. You can tell that this has got the wheat, malt in there. It's very bready once you get past that fruity Jolly Rancher watermelon aroma. It smells really good, though. There's really not too much there. The main thing, like I said, is that watermelon aroma. The head is settled down, so ready to dive in. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, John.
Very refreshing, super light-bodied. The first thing that hits you is that watermelon flavor, and then it leads into a nice wheat bready note in the middle of the sip. This is a very bready beer. The watermelon's nice, but yeah, this is more the breadiness kind of cuts through that Jolly Rancher watermelon pretty quickly. Like you get a hit of that, it's nice and tart, but it leads into that nice bready center. A little salty, but not overly salty. I'm not really getting any coriander, but definitely getting the sea salt with this. Nice dry finish. Like I said, the body is super light. It's crisp. It's clean. It's refreshing. The carbonation is more on the high side. Very champagne-like almost with the carbonation. You could just pound this down. It's super light-bodied and enjoyable. Not a ton of flavor, but the flavor that's there is, I mean, they hit it out of the ballpark with what they were trying to do. It's a light, refreshing style of beer, and this is a light, refreshing beer. And I'm really enjoying it. It's not my favorite Gose, but it's a really good one. If you've never had a Gose, I think most people can find this because, like I said, the distribution now with Terrapin, since they were bought out by Miller Coors, is pretty widespread. So I'm enjoying this. I'll keep sipping on it and come back around with the rating in a little bit.
Awesome.
Cheers, John.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And now, magnets.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, Bumpy. Today, what I've got is from Anderson Valley. It's their Briny Melon Gose. You see, it's Boonville, California, 4.2%. Solar-powered brewery. Didn't see that last time I was got one of these. Anyways, yep, there's a can. It's got your bear with the antlers. Typical of the company. So Cheers. Pour
Cheers.
it up.
Ooh, that's really lively.
It'll settle down.
Yeah, it's a sour.
At least
there it
Alex
is.
is here in spirit.
He tried.
Yeah. All right. So pretty similar to what John's beer looked like. It's lemony, slight like hazy look. It's not real clear by any means. Big head obviously going to dissipate fairly quickly. Yeah. Looks amber on the screen. That's absolutely not the color of this beer. Almost looks like a lemon Gatorade. So on the nose, definitely get slight coriander. It's definitely sea salty. You know, like I don't know. It has that smell. Like if you've ever been to the beach and it's got that sea foams laying around on the shore. Very reminiscent of that. From what I remember, I believe this is a watermelon gose, but it's not real upfront, punch you in the face fruit wise. But anyways, here I'm gonna top it off. All right, so yeah, small bubbles shooting up, very effervescent as it should be. So, cheers.
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 All right. It's very very light bodied beer. It's crisp, refreshing, all over the tongue. It's got that prickly gose feel that most beers do of this style. Very salty, not overbearingly salty. The watermelon notes come through. It's nice. It's not like real overwhelming like I've heard candy notes thrown out. It's really not like that. It's you get up front, you get that salty coriander, and then it starts to go back on the palate, and you get this light watermelon flavors. It's really good. I don't know. This is very similar to if like you had a piece of like watermelon and you threw a little salt on it and you ate it. I mean, it's very good. I've had this beer before and I didn't do a review on it, so that's why I decided to come back with it. But very good beer.
Nice.
I would highly recommend it if anybody hasn't tried it. It's a good way to go, especially if you're starting out getting into this. It's not anything that's too crazy. So,
Yeah. So
cheers,
it's
guys.
more on the watermelon versus like a watermelon candy.
Yes, the flavors. It's light and delicate. The watermelon flavor. It's not like you like. I don't know. It's not like having a watermelon Jolly Rancher. It's not like sweet candy note like that. But like I said, initially you don't get it. Once it starts to roll back on your palate, tongue starts to dry off a little bit. That watermelon note comes out. It's crisp. It's clean. I really enjoy this beer.
Nice. Sounds refreshing. It does.
Yep.
For the
Crushable.
next guy coming up,
all the way.
if we could get what would it be? Surf City, the drum roll for Surf City. If we get that going,
Out.
the Wipeout.
Surf All right, enough of that. We're drinking New England because why the hell not? Connecticut Valley Brewing Company, South Windsor, Connecticut. That is their epically awesome logo. You can't even see it; it's all blurry. But they got a beer that says "Make Some Waves." It's called the Lightkeeper, and it is their 4.8% key lime gose.
Nice.
Bam! I saw that they had a cucumber tart gose as well at the store, so that's pretty cool. And this one's good until the 16th, or enjoyed by the 16th of January, 2021. Damn.
Yeah, I'm like you, Eric. I'd rather see the born on date than the best to drink by dates.
Me too. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
And contrary to what John Anile says, or was talking about with the Terrapin beers, somehow with Miller having some ownership in them, I've never seen them once in New England or.
There's apparently is not as good a distribution because Bumpy can't get it. You can't get it. Beer Man can't
I'll
get
have
it.
to
I
look
don't know
around.
if Thrash can
Yeah,
get
I
it.
haven't even tried to look.
I
for
mean, but they do make good beers. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now.
I don't know if you can hear the popping and fizzing, but there it is. Put the microphone up towards it. Yeah, it looks like a really cloudy or kind of like a chill hazed, like a Helles lager. So, and the reasoning it's got bubbles on the side right around here is because the beer glass is not clean. I had a beer prior in the glass. And it is a fizzy, small white head. Lots of carbonation.
Hells yeah.
Hellas, yeah. Key lime. I guess there's a little bit of the key lime sweetness in the background. It's really in the background, but it really has your standard typical kind of a lime that you buy and you squeeze into your tonic water when you're having gin or a vodka tonic. It's that kind of a traditional lime smell to it. It actually is really reminding me of that kind of a gin and tonic kind of a smell. I am getting the sea salt. Yes, obviously there is sea salt being brewed in this one, and Pilsner white bready malt in the background. It kind of reminds me of like an electrolyte sports drink or like a lemon lime Gatorade, kind of that smell. Anything else I can tell you before I drink this beer? Let's see. It just says this 4.8% German style Gose is kettle soured with key limes. Nothing else about the beer except that I need to drink. Cheers, people.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, you could crush the crap out of that. Yeah, electrolyte, salt, that lemon lime kind of Gatorade sports drinky.
Wow.
Kind of a flavor, but it's pretty dry for what it is. What else here? I'm getting some pretty toasty white bready malt in this one from me. Just like in the nose, that key lime sweetness comes in at the very end of the sip. It never shows itself as being overly sweet. It's not an overly sweet beverage. It's got more of that tart quenching refreshment out of it. And I like how it gives you the kiss of the malty sweetness before it dries, or should I say the kiss of the key lime before it dries. This is working quite excellently. I usually don't like key lime and key lime pies and stuff because I find they're way sweeter to my taste palate.
But is it sweetness in there, or is it the tartness from the key lime?
So there's a tartness from the key lime juice, and then at the very end, do I get it sweetness? So I think,
okay, all right.
I think that's must be what I'm getting is a combination of those two things.
Cool.
Pretty salty, but it's not overdone. It works to combat the tartness to make it a very round mouthfeel and flavor. And it is champagne, like I think maybe Thrash Metal maybe talked about that with his beer. This Gose is very champagne-like. It's very bubbly and effervescent. So I'm haven't had a bunch of Goses in my time, but I guess that would be a characteristic of the style. If you really like bubbly seltzer water kind of beverages, you actually might like the Gose style. So so far, this is a winner. Cheers. I'm not even a Gose lover, but I'll buy this again so far. Yeah.
Awesome.
Did I say 4.8%? Yeah.
Cheers, Eric.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good review, man.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
And Bumpy ROAD. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for being here, and we are going to bring up the man,
Looks good.
the myth, the cheese bringer, Beer Man.
Bring up.
All right, man. Thanks, Bumpy. Appreciate it. Cheers to everyone. So, all right. So I got another Anderson Valley one. This is the Framboise Rosé Gose. So beautifully romantically said, right? Sounds like a wine.
But yeah, so this is Anderson Valley. They're brewed with natural flavor. They've been around since 1987. It's a 4.2% alcohol by volume. I don't know what the IBUs are. I didn't look them up. Boonville, California, they're out of. All right. So what's some kind of weird digits? I don't really know what that means. So it's all good though. All right. So let's open this up.
I can't wait till he wipes his nose.
Maybe we can come back to this when we're all done. But Paul Middlefrew was wondering about the origins of salt in eggs.
Yeah, I was gonna look that up while Beer Man was doing his thing here.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now, actually.
Usually sea salt. Sea salt's the one main. Don't use white salt that you'd put on, in your
kosher salt.
Not a good one. So this is a nice. Let's go with the. We'll just go with about a little over a finger head. Let's go for the nose. Yeah, it's got the lactic acid kind of up. It just kind of goes up. You can kind of smell that. It goes up. Maybe that's why I'm getting kind of a Vinny wine, like a fruity grapes or fruity oh no, like raspberries or something. They're real sweet kind of raspberry or some kind of like lighter awesome seedy fruit. I don't know, berry, I mean, not fruit. Oh, it's a fruit, but that really goes through well. It's got a perfumated kind of like a perfume smell to it. It's very nice. Let's go to the look. It's a white, really tight head, small bubbles. Lacing is really starting up there. Like Brian said, there's not going to be any legs. It's the low percentage. So, what was this again? 4.2. So this is really sessionable, in my opinion. But it does have a haze, which is fine. A nice slight haze is good. It's appropriate for the style. It's got a nice, somewhat of an effervescence in there, but not super effervescent. It's more of a medium rising bubble, medium too fast. It's got its spurts every once in a while. Really nice. It's got a kind of like pushing a reddish color, but it's more of an amber haze-like look. But the head in about 2 minutes of me, 3 minutes of me explaining everything has gone down. So the retention's not super great. Expected, I think, to some degree. Right away, it had a nice head, though. It was really nice. So that was good. All right, let's go ahead and taste this. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, bud. It's
got the sour with kind of a high, like a spritzy, it tastes like Gatorade. It tastes kind of like a raspberry Gatorade, or something like that, right? Like some kind of
electrolyte sports
drink. Electrolyte sports drink. It very much so does taste like that. Definitely. It's sour. It's got the tart. Not so much sour, more of a tart. Just a nice tartness, dryness in the back, a medium finish. Really kind of throws all those nice flavors, the fruity flavors you're looking for inside, around your palate, around your tongue. Kind of chalky dryness on the kind of the back part of your tongue, at least on mine. It's got kind of a grainy wheat like grain like taste to it as well. It not so much though. The lactic acid really tampers with that a bit and kind of throws. I'm a lactic acid beer. That it's kind of but it's got that fruit though that really pulls through well, but just enough to be super balanced all the way through to the end. It smells like it tastes. It's wonderful. Very good beer. Cheers, guys. This is awesome. I forgot to say the body is kind of a medium. Let's say medium. and the mouthfeel is kind of a crispy, jumpy, kind of smooth, almost also in the middle, and then sours off mouthfeel. It's weird. All right, cheers, man.
What kind of cheese
Cheers,
would
bro.
go with that beer?
Probably have a goat cheese or like some like.
I already knew
Something
that
like
was
that.
Yeah.
coming.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Nice.
All
Cheers.
right. Yeah, I'm trying to read through a book. I couldn't find the GOSE thing, but I saw that Thrash was throwing stuff up. So
The About
it's the
Beer
balance out
website.
the coriander and just the way that they brewed it next to the sea.
yeah,
Pretty much.
because it
Herbal-
originated in the what was it, the river of GOSE? So
Yeah.
it might have been a salty.
Yeah,
What I
probably an
found-
inlet.
It is
Yeah.
salty. I didn't say that. And there is a coriander. There is a slight lemony herbal like
Yeah.
feel to it as well. So there it does have that richness underneath it all. It's kind of like this really cool
I found-
layered beer.
I found
So-
an article. I could find it again and post the link. It was on aboutbeer.com, and they were talking about the salt in the GOSE. And they were interviewing one of the brewers from Distill Brewing Company. I think they're somewhere in the Chicago area or in Illinois. And I did post it, and Bumpy did post the comment. They said, quote unquote, with the salt, it helps complement and balance the acidity and the coriander for ultimately a refreshing yet
Mhm.
bold and unique beer.
Well, this is one of those beers. Sorry, Bumpy, before you bring Michael up. Just GOSEs themselves. This is one of those beers that was kind of like, you know how we have fads nowadays, like
Yeah.
in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. There's a lot of fads that go around. I think GOSE was kind of a beer fad in that sense, that it was hidden for a while and it came back up, and it's really cool to see this come about, especially with the craft beer community. They make great damn beers. It's a sour, but it's a different type of sour, you know.
It is.
Yep.
You're right.
And actually, in the old days,
I definitely feel
the old folks used to add salt to their beers. You know, their American adjunct lagers, they would put salt in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad still does
Yeah, I
that.
definitely don't
Who
think
knows
those
for
are
what
a fad anymore. Like they're definitely here to stay. It's become such a popular style.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, posted a link to that article in the chat. It's from allaboutbeer.com. It's called Salt, giving GOSE big flavor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Bumpy, drop me out. You can stay up. Bring Michael up, man.
Well, I'm gonna drop two out because I've got
Yeah,
Michael and
drop me
Rob.
out.
So I think I'll
Drop
drop
me out.
the top two, and then I'll bring you guys back.
In a bit, gentlemen.
All right. So now we have Mike Komarov and G Scout.
Well, it's got a
That's
G.
A whiskey
Yeah.
scout here
Mhm.
with us. So
Sure.
Mike Komarov, now is your time to show off
Okay.
your GOSE.
Ooh, excuse me.
So we showed it before. There's the Founder's Green Zebra at 4.8% out, 4.6%, not 8.6, and 10 IBUs. And it's a GOSE style ale brewed with watermelon and sea salt. So there's similarity between the one that John had and the one that Miscellaneous had. This is what it looks like in the glass. It did have a head, but it has subsided as I've been drinking it. You can see a very slim head remaining, but not much. And it is clear in color, golden. Nice color. Let me get a nose on it. You get the watermelon, you get kind of a berry, kind of, not sure what kind of berry, could be anything. And you get the sea salt, but it's a little bit more in the background. It's not direct. You can smell it. Let me go in for a taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to Michael Kamara.
Okay. The taste definitely follows the nose. It's interesting because it's a combination of that Jolly Rancher kind of watermelon and the kind that Miscellaneous described, which was more real watermelon. So it does have the sweetness to it, but it's not straight Jolly Rancher, but it has some of that in it. There's a tartness to it, and it's definitely not sour. So it's tart and not sour. Goes down pretty easy, but anything that's 4.6% should.
Mostly, yes.
Let's see, what else am I getting? I'm getting kind of an interesting, like an apple juice kind of feel to it.
I did when I had it. I did almost get like a candied apple type of note come out of it. It was.
But you wouldn't think that would be something that would be in it, but that's what I'm getting.
That's interesting. Yeah, I can see that in GOSEs.
And it also, as the others, has a dry finish. I would definitely recommend this. As we've discussed on other beers we've done, Founders has a very good reputation for multiple styles, and this happens to be one they've done well. I'll come back and have a number for you.
Question for Michael Komarov. When you went to Europe recently, did you come across GOSEs in your travels, and how frequently was that?
I didn't see GOSEs, believe it or not. When I was in Belgium, there were no GOSEs that I saw, or in Holland. I was in Italy as well, but those were mostly lagers that I saw there. So I don't know. You probably could find GOSEs in Europe if you look for them, but they were not the main beers.
Gotcha. Interesting stuff there. G is for grapefruit.
All right. Thank you, Michael. I guess B needs to talk to me for real life stuff. Uh-oh.
What? Oh.
All right. We are going to bring up the G Scout at this time with his
Girl Scout?
giant Gatorade can, and he can explain that.
Well, I was thinking not Girl Scout. That's your realm, not mine.
I didn't think Girl Scout either. Huh?
I was thinking G for Gatorade because it looked like a G Gatorade.
Certainly does.
Anyway, we got an Evil Twin Brewing. G is for grapefruit, 4.5% alcohol by volume. I only had 2 options at the store on the way home, and this one sounded better than the other one. It is brewed with salt and grapefruit added. No, your guess is as good as mine on the can date.
Vodka.
Set of numbers. So
That's
usually stuff in that store is usually not too old of stuff. He keeps a pretty good turnover there.
Cool that they exploit the fact that it kind of has probably a sports drink kind of a flavor to it.
Yeah, I'm sure for the Evil Twin. It's the cheapest Evil Twin I've ever purchased at $2.29. Wow. Most of the time, Evil Twin's much more expensive around here. It literally foams up and dies quickly. The effervescence quickly leaves. Still does produce carbonation, but just doesn't. It's more like, I don't know, it's just bigger bubbles. It's not a race of bubbles. It's just a few big bubbles going up. Definitely get a touch of the grapefruit on the nose for sure. Very light, almost acidic on the nose. It was like a acidic or strange acidic note.
Acidic.
But it's mouth-watering. There is a whatever's in there. It does leave it makes your mouth start watering when you smell it. It's just like any something that's heavily citrus. And anyway, when you smell lemon or something like that, and you're cutting it, my mouth always waters, and it's kind of the same preparation for this. Boy, it's light, very light, very watery in an aspect, almost like drinking like a lemonade in a way, like a highly carbonated lemonade, but it doesn't have that sickly sweetness like a lemonade leaves. But it's grapefruit instead of lemonade. There's a grapefruit note there. Salty, yes. Salt comes across very well in this. Tart, slightly bitter, and very. What comes across waters your mouth and the nose definitely dries it out in the palate. It's definitely very dry, and white wine, like a really, really extra dry white wine, is how it comes across. There's not a lot else to say about it. It's just very light, kind of a refreshing drink. I mean, I don't know.
Does it have big bubbles?
It had big bubbles, yes. It had.
Does that mean it's a bad beer?
No, it's a bad.
Very good. I just wanted to get that. Thank you.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. Very refreshing, very 4.5%. You could drink a lot of these in a hurry.
Yeah.
Keep them cold, though. I prefer it ice cold. It's a little bit warm now, but not warm, but warmer.
Wow.
I like it. If you like grapefruit, you like salt on your grapefruit, just a tad bit of sweetness along with it. Little tart, sour, ever so slightly bitter on the aspect, and very dry. I mean, it's nothing. We'll get to the scores in a little bit. We'll cover that later.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.
And we're going to come back and we're going to be
I got more.
Yeah.
showing the next person up on stream, which is going to be William Kelly. Welcome, William.
Hi.
I'm going to bring you a big. Are you ready to show off a GOSE?
I went to Total Wine. The one I really wanted to get was the Westbrook.
Yeah.
It's considered the gold standard, really, of this style, but it was out of stock. A couple of other ones I saw were rather old, and a couple of them, the date was stamped on the side of the rim of the can.
Yep.
So it was indecipherable. So I happened to look over at the cooler section, and I saw this Dogfish Sequence Ale. Read the label on it, so it's part GOSE. So I grabbed one of those 19.2 ounce cans, and it's one I've only had once in the past, about 3 years ago. So hot evening, I thought that might be quite refreshing. So I've got one of those. It's a mashup of a Kolsch, a GOSE, and a Berlin-Weiss beer. Berlin-Weiss. And been quite successful for the company. I think it was brought out in 2017. It was Brewhound's Beer Product of the Year. So I think it's when I think of like a GOSE, to me the 3 S's come to mind: sour, salty, and sessionable. And you could add probably spicy to that too. It's pretty much the essence of these beers. And low ABV. And I don't know if you mentioned it, you probably did in the introduction, that these are at least 50% malted wheat rather than the malted barley. And they finish it off with the Pilsner malt. So sometimes with the wheat beers, I get a little bit of like a Roman, I don't know if you remember the Roman meal bread. A little bit of a wheaty note in it. But anyway, I'll crack mine open and take a sip.
Here we go.
I had some issues today with my hands. I've been like Edward Scissorhands today. I've got a sink full of dirty beer glasses. So this one is in a plastic cup. At last resort. But the appearance of these they run from a straw to a light amber. This one is on the light, best I remember, is on more the lighter side of that. Pretty cloudy.
I have to ask how your shrubs are looking right now, William.
Pardon?
Your shrubs up front, how are they looking? You were like Edward Scissorhands today, so I figured you must have done some great landscaping.
I butchered them, actually. So here's the...
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Nice.
What I can see through there, a lot of active streaming bubbles, a nice head here. First thing that hits me is the citrus on the nose. This is also brewed with black limes.
Black limes.
Black limes, which are a delicacy in the Middle East. What they do is they boil the limes in seawater until all the water is gone from the pan, the pot, and also all the water from the limes themselves. Black limes are really not too popular here in the southern part of the United States. I'm in North Carolina, so this is the only time I've ever had a personal experience with a black lime. But suppose it adds a little bit of spiciness to it, basically. But I'll take it. Cheers on a Monday night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Black limes matter. Sorry.
That's a good one, Eric. The salt element up front, get more of the citrusy, the lemony coriander mid-sip, and it finishes with an acidity that sort of replaces the missing hops. These are not hoppy beers. Hopheads need not apply for this style. But that acidity at the end gives a little bit of snap and also a little bit of a refreshing note. And one thing about this I noticed compared to the, I've had the I GOSE. The addition of the Kolsch, a more conventional style of German beer, gives this a little bit more of a malty quality, which I like. I like that aspect of it. Adds a little bit to it. But very, very crisp, very refreshing. This would, and this has even been billed as a margarita substitute. And I think that's pretty accurate. It lacks the sweetness of some of these margarita products, where this is an actual beer. So I think it's more genuine. The flavor is a little bit actually better. So I'll take another sip on this. The name sequence means it is brewed in sequence. They start with the Kolsch, then after 1 day, when the yeast is raring to go, they will add the GOSE. Then to finish it off, they will add the Whirling. So those three combined, they think it makes each flavor stand out more than if they just tossed it into the vat all together. So this is why they called it a sequence ale. The three styles are added in sequence. So a little bit of pun on words there, but
kind of like a goose.
Goza. Or however you pronounce it. Goza. Sounds Japanese.
I think on the second sip, the citrusy element of it is coming a little bit more to the fore. It's funny how when your palate gets coated sometimes that you can start to taste different things on each sip, maybe a little bit more emphasis. And on this one, I'm picking a little bit more of that citrusy, the lemony character from the coriander. But originally, these beers were spontaneously fermented. But over time, the brewers realized that they could achieve the same result by using the warm fermentation, top fermentation, and adding the lactic acid bacteria. So that's where that came in. Well, I'm enjoying this one, and I'll turn it back to the panel and give my score when asked.
Awesome. Thank you very much there, William Kepley. Appreciate you running through some more of the history, and that was actually interesting about the naming of the sequence.
Yeah, there's a lot of This is a very interesting style. Basically, in 1966, this beer was extinct as a style. Germany had survived 2 world wars, and the country was divided, and this beer just fell out of favor. Like I say, it was dead. It was dead in the water, and only became revived in the early 80s with the craft beer movement in the United States. That gave this beer a second life. And as a result of that, there was a little bit of a resurgence in Germany, in the area of Leipzig, which is the original style, the Leipzig style. Where most of these we drink in the United States are the contemporary style, which tend to emphasize more the saltiness and the sourness. There's a little bit more dialed back. I saw a quote from one of the brewers in Germany saying that Americans always do things to the extreme. So wasn't too favorable about the American style, and but anyway, that's but most everything we drink in the United States is the contemporary style. If you really want to get more of a gist of what this beer was like originally, if you go to some specialty bars or maybe a nice bottle shop, you might actually be able to score one of the Leipzig style goses. And I'd like to try one of those myself if I ever get the chance. A bottle shop that really specializes in hard to get stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Nice.
Cheers.
That I didn't know that beer was that unique. That sounds pretty good. I'll have to try it.
So we are down to me. I don't have any more people popping into the basement right now. I don't know if I can down there.
We'll go with it.
Anybody else want to go in the basement? So let me go ahead with my beer. Then we'll start rotating through with our scores. Let's see. I've got something from New Hampshire. It's out of West Ossipee. It's Hobbs Brewing Company, and their Salinity Now hard ale with raspberries and sea salt. Comes out at 4.7% ABV. Fairly fresh. I think this one's like within a month, anyways. And the interesting thing about it is the salt, the sea salt that they use, actually comes out of the Isles of Shoals, which Smutty Nose Brewing Company, they're really close to that. It's part of the Atlantic Ocean, and so this is some sea salt from New Hampshire, pretty much.
All right.
It's in this beer, so
New England.
go ahead and crack it open and a little Porsky.
Look at that beer.
Oh, that was much darker than mine.
Raspberry.
Yes, it is natural raspberry coloring and stuff. There's no artificial colors as far as I know from what I've read. But yeah, a little kind of pinkish head. It's got small, medium bubbles. It's fizzing away. You can hear it fizzing. I don't know if it's probably not going to pick it up. But the color of the beer itself is a nice pink. And it does have a haze to it. The aromas. Well, first off, you get some raspberry. A little bit of a tartness with the raspberry. really tough to decipher if I'm actually picking up on salt. I know there's salt in this one. So don't know if I'm actually picking it up or if it's just because I know that there's salt there and I know you can taste the salt. Anyways, smells pretty delightful. Very low, kind of just tart and raspberry type smells, and doesn't smell super sweet or overpowering. First swig, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Two beers. Two GOSE beers.
Yeah, so this is a very light kind of wheat to almost like white bread type malt. Really faint, but it's kind of the first thing I noticed with a wash of like a light raspberry flavor. Little bit of a tartness to it. It's not super sour, but it definitely has the tartness there. And then pick up on all that salt. It's all over the lips. So the saltness is kind of what you're left with a slight lingering raspberry flavor. Pretty much a medium body on this one. Carbonation, actually, it doesn't seem. It was fizzing, like super fizzy, and since the head went down, it's not talking to me as much. But the carbonation, it doesn't feel so spritzy on the tongue. So I'm not sure if it's just hidden by how like the medium body on this one, or if it's all the raspberries that are in it. But it's got little pricklies from the carbonation, but it's not like super effervescent. Does leave the palate pretty damn dry though. Say that, especially with that salt and stuff in there and the tartness. But yeah, overall not bad. 4.7%. Yeah, good. It's a good summer brew, for sure. So that said, we got to try to figure out how I'm going to run through everybody getting their scores in here. So let me just bring it back to this screen. I think what I do, I got the 3 in the basement right now. So if we can start with Thomas Metal, if you can give your score first.
Sure.
Go Beer Man, Mike Komarov, and also after you give your score, if you would just throw out any shout outs that you have, channel wise, life wise, whatever you want to kind of shout out.
Oh,
And then
life-wise, ouch.
bringing up the other folks.
Cool. Great going, Bumpy. I'm going to have to. I think this show might have confirmed it for me. I don't know if I'm like a GOSE go-getter or like I got to go out and buy one tomorrow, but I'm pretty close now. I think I finally found the taste for the GOSE. It's super refreshing. Again, like I said in my review, it kind of reminds me of having the lime for my key lime GOSE. It's called the Light Keeper from Connecticut Valley Brewing Company in South Windsor, Connecticut, since William didn't see that. And there is your Pilsner malty kind of color. So yeah, it's reminding me of having a lime inside of your gin and tonic or inside of your vodka tonic. But the lime here is a little bit more sweet. I'm getting the tartness and the sweetness from. I'm getting the tartness from like that lime juice, and then the sweetness from it. I'm really liking this one. There's no complaints out of me. I'm gonna go off the rails, but it's probably accurate. I'm gonna give that a 95 out of 100. That is damn refreshing. And
Nice.
again, the fruit is not annoying. It's not fruity. It's just perfectly complementary to that electrolyte Pilsner malty lemon lime Gatorade flavor with that tartness and the fruit. It's a nice round beverage. 95.
Nice.
All right.
And any shout outs
Yeah, sure.
before we move on? All right.
Thomas Metal 75. Forgot about that. That's the channel of YouTube, Massachusetts Reviews. I am here on Mondays. I am on Wednesdays with the Wildcard Wednesday on Louisiana Beer Review, Ron Terrio's channel, and Beer Chugs for What the ABV. sometimes on a Fandango Friday, if we have one, James V. Madonna, the Progressive Discussions, does a beer show / anything goes at around 10:30, 11 p.m. Find me on that one. And if we do anything else with sports or NASCAR, you might find me with Lone Star. Cheers, everybody.
Nice. All
Sure,
right.
very good.
Go Red Sox.
Beer man.
All right. So I found out this was a 12 IBU, which is good. It's GOSE. It did have a raspberry puree, so that is a definite taste smell I got. It's kettle sour as well. And it's got hibiscus-like flavors is what I definitely got a hibiscus. I've had hibiscus tea in the past 3 months or so. I had a little bit. I remember how that tastes, and it tasted like that actually. Like Jello without sugar, but feels refreshing, and as G-Scout said. Medium fuel, medium light mouthfeel, Gatorade and Electrolyte Central. Saltiness, coriander, lemony, herbal was balanced well with the fruit flavors and the malts. Seems to fit the style and taste and was good to me. So I would have it again. This is a 96 out of 100, in my opinion.
It was apparently very good to you.
Very good. Definitely would buy it again. Hell yeah.
Shout outs.
Maybe not a 6-pack, but like I have one in my quorum of Sixers.
All right. Shout it out loud.
Oh yeah, the shouts. Well, I'm on here. I like to be here if Bumpy will have me. And then of course Tuesday is Beer and Cheese Tuesday at 5 o'clock, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then Wednesday I do a little recipe thing, which I'll eventually be turning into a brew day. But just put together a recipe, do a review, and all that stuff. And then Friday I like to go to Alex Beer Masters Food Friday, and do that. And then beer chugs. I want to mention that I like to go to beer chugs after Wednesday night, excuse me. Yeah. Thank you.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Yeah, so just I like to bump around, but as far as bump around, I like to go around, yeah. But as far as my thing, Tuesday, Wednesday. Cheers, guys. Thank you, Bumpy.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for being here, beer man. Do you have any more guesses on what cheese I'm going to be bringing? Yeah,
well, I was wrong the last one. I will say that it's not hot. It's
not
blue
hot.
cheese.
Nope. All right. I'll give you another guess tomorrow.
All right.
Mike Cora.
Okay, this Founder's Green Zebra was canned on the 10th of April, which makes it a little bit less than 3 months old. I think on this kind of style, you're okay for probably 6 months at least. So there's no problem with that. I'm giving this a 94, so it's a solid A. I would recommend it. I'm sure it's fairly widely available, as most Founder's beers are. This one came in a 15-pack that my daughter got me from Costco. So it's also sold in 6-packs, I believe. This Wednesday, which is not a wild card Wednesday, it's the first Wednesday of the month, will be beers you can pair with seafood.
So it goes
This probably would pair well. But it's funny. By doing something like that, it's kind of a nebulous thing to do, because you can pair most things with seafood, I would think, other than imperial stouts and real high ABV things, which might not pair well with seafood.
You might forget what it's a seafood tastes like.
Stout Sunday on John's channel as well at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I take part in that as well, and I would highly recommend this beer. And I like the GOSE style in general during the summer. It's a very refreshing beer style.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Michael. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the last three. If you guys want to hang around in the basement, you can. But we're, because we got to try to figure out what we're going to do afterwards to create the next poll. I should ask at this point, actually, anybody in the panel having a birthday next Monday? Anybody?
My birthday's in May. No.
All right.
Let me go into time.
So So yeah, if you guys want to hang out in the basement, feel free. If you don't want to and you have something else to do, you can go ahead and do that. I'm sure we'll have a link or something else go out for where we try to all bravado together. Maybe Bear Man or somebody, or John and Nelly, somebody that paid some money, I guess, to have at least 10.
Oh yeah, I can set something up.
So we'll figure it out. But right now we got everybody. Say goodbye to Tom's Metal. Thank you very much for joining tonight.
Thank you.
Beer Man, appreciate you for joining up tonight.
Yes, man. Thank you.
We'll chat later. We will figure out what's going on for next Monday. Michael Kormroff, you as well. Want to appreciate you for joining
for at least a little while.
Yeah,
Michael.
Yeah, we'll get through this. This is the shorter portion of the show.
I'll be in touch with you, William. I promise.
Okay, I just want to give you my stats for the beer.
Okay.
4.9% ABV and 10 IBU.
Okay, got it.
So I want to get that in there.
Got it.
Nice.
I'll be downstairs.
Okay, downstairs.
Thank you very much for joining up again tonight.
No
Michael.
problem.
All right, we'll talk later.
Take care, guys.
Now we're gonna bring in thrash metal. John and Ellie, miscellaneous magnets. Since Thrash isn't there, John and Ellie, if you want to go ahead and talk about your beer.
Sure. Well, this is a very light, refreshing beer. We've been going on for an hour, and I'm on my third one, so pretty dang tasty. So the Terrapin Watermelon Gose, 4.5% ABV, super light, crisp, clean, refreshing, dry finish, salty but not too salty. A little bit of that Jolly Rancher thing going on, but not too sweet. And nice and bready in the middle with that nice wheat malt character. This is a great alternative to, your Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light. I'm glad Eric said he converted to Goses tonight. That makes me happy. It's just a great style and a great sessionable brew, style in general, but especially this one. This is a 94 for me, 94 out of 100. It's a solid A. It's a great beer. And obviously, watermelon is a very popular flavor for the Gose style because we had the Green Zebra, we had the Watermelon Gose for me, and then the Briny Melon Gose from that Miscellaneous had. Mm-hmm. So watermelon is a very popular flavor to add to these styles of beer.
Yep.
So anyway, 94 out of 100.
And also lime was pretty popular. There's a couple lime ones, and then raspberry, a couple of raspberry ones. So and then you had an oddball grape.
Raspberry, though, I find is more more for the Berliner Weisses where you have the lactose. A true Gose doesn't have lactose in it, although I have had a couple Goses from Wally Brewing Company that they label as Goses, but they add lactose to the beer, which is really not true to the style. But anyway, that's another conversation. But yeah, this is a winner. And as far as shout outs or channel plugs, whatever you want to call them, Stout Sunday. Everybody knows I do Stout Sunday, 10:30 Eastern on Sunday morning. And just the usual beer reviews and stuff that I post every week. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
And good to see William Kepley again.
Oh, yes.
Good to see. If you say you're on your third beer, in hockey, that's a hat trick.
Yep.
Hey, 4.5%.
And maybe more to
end
come.
up finishing with 6-pack.
Yeah. Thrash, it's your turn to talk with your beer and do any.
You walk away, and next thing you know, you're doing chores for the wife. So
no.
Shit happens. So sorry.
I try not to make eye contact with my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Anyway, go ahead and do this thing. We're gonna look at what we got here. So for
What? I see that. Right?
Will goes around. This guy, I think we're going to give this guy 95.
Cheers, Alex.
So cheers, man. It's a really good sour. It's a good Gose. I mean, Gose same realm, but Gose's got more complexity to it. And I really enjoyed this one. And if you get a chance to get it, please do. It's you won't be you won't be disappointed. So this one is the one I poured up earlier, and it's still keeping some of that fizz there. So cheers, everybody.
Awesome. Cheers, Thrash.
Cheers, Thrash.
So thrash metal, homebrew, and barbecue, as you can tell with a lot of the things I do, I'm into the retro computer stuff. I'm into the barbecuing. Just posted a video on some ribs, which were really good the other night on Saturday, and doing the horse rescues and stuff. So keep an eye out for more videos coming out for that too. So cheers. Boom.
Well, while you're gone, that's what Ron Sutton said.
There you go, man.
That's the best way to go. I mean, it's
On his Weber.
pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Thrash.
Cheers.
Miscellaneous.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a little more information on the beer, and it does have 12 IBUs. The hops that are used are Bravo, and the malts are Pale 2-row and malted white wheat. For the briny melon from Anderson Valley, I really like this beer, so I bought it again for this evening. It's just really good, man. I don't know if I haven't heard the term tonight, but Gose, these lighter ones, they do have some big beers that they do. There's some Imperials out there, but this style, the lower ABV stuff, great lawnmower beer, man. You want to go out to the beach or anything like that, daytime activity, light, crisp. Usually the flavor is good. I'm going to score this at a 95. I really enjoy the Anderson Valley, the briny melon. Keep my eyes out for that one beer man had. I thought I had the cherry by them, and that one didn't really hit the mark for me. But I would highly recommend anybody to get this. And what William brought, that fucking beer is really good. I like that one with the black limes. Me and my wife had it, and I still buy that. It's very tasty stuff. So that's about it. I think everybody got plugged in.
Because I know you get Terrapin down there in Florida, so see if you can find that one.
I have had that one, and it wasn't bad in my opinion. I just like the Anderson Valley a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I am
Good
drinking
stuff.
Colt 45, so
Hey, I want to
I grab
give a
it.
shout out to William. William, it's so great to see you on the panel again. Dude, you are welcome anytime, man. Anytime on any of these panels.
I
We
enjoy
love
it.
having you here, dude.
I like this Monday night show. I really do. And the panelists are great. I've had a good time. It
Cool.
makes me glad I got through my health condition to still be able to do this.
Yes. Thank God.
oh yeah, man.
I'm getting back into it, and so it's good to be alive.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been
Yeah.
good getting to know you. So
I enjoy you, Bumpy. I really do. And you got a good format here. This is a nice. You got a good thing going right here.
Thank
Really
you.
is.
Thank you.
He's
if
already
anybody
full of
wants
hot
to
air.
Pay me some money so I can
Don't
get
tell
more
me.
channel members in. Just kidding. I don't have any of that stuff. I'm going to do it all on my own. But we're going to go to Whiskey Scout here. He's going to
Okay.
talk about his G spot.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see you later, Bumpy.
well, it didn't exactly hit. The G didn't exactly hit the spot. Let's put it that way. I
Yeah,
wish
that
I'd
was
had you
cool.
guys. Maybe this one's older or something. It just isn't.
I didn't even look at the can date on
It is. There's no. I can't remember. I can't decipher the
It's just got a bunch
numbers
of
on it.
BS numbers.
Which is
on it.
common for Evil Twin on some of their stuff. I'm going to give it an 87 out of 100. I mean, it's good, it's crushable, but you guys sound a whole lot better. I'd rather try some of your beers. I had two choices. I had this one and the margarita flavored goes, and I chose that. I thought grapefruit sounded interesting, and in retrospect, I should have bought both, and then
There we go.
went that route.
I don't like this one. I'm gonna come back around and I'll tell you about the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, 88 on it. This is drinkable. I mean, there's nothing. It's just there's no memorable factor here. There's nothing that says I really like this. I want to buy another one. But there's nothing bad that says, there's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't.
Didn't fit the bill. Huh?
Yeah, it's just I've had I'm like John. I like sour beers, but this one just doesn't float the boat per se. 87.
Once you get to the point, you've had so many of them, you start getting pretty picky with what fits the criteria of what you're looking for with the style.
Yep.
Well, I keep you in mind if you ever get a beer mail. I know what to send you.
Yeah. I was actually surprised nobody brought an Imperial one tonight. I figured,
couldn't get my hands
I was going to, but I wanted to go more
I
traditional.
thought Matt's Agave was going to show up or something.
I have some Founders Mas Agave. I was going to do that one, but I wanted to be more traditional, so I brought this.
I think that could be. We could do a different show with that. So I didn't want to muddy it up.
Special, special.
Yeah. Barrel aged goses.
Barrel aged gose.
Keep Malty Monday going a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
That's a good hashtag. Somebody pump that in there. Hashtag keep Malty Mondays going.
Hashtag Malty Monday forever.
So then we're gonna do freaking malt shakes from McDonald's and Burger
King. Yep.
Somebody was suggesting earlier before we went live.
It's going to become Alex's Food Friday on Monday. With shakes.
You'll do the
Instead
drinks.
of malt liquor Monday, just do
Y'all
straight
want
up
a
liquor
milkshake?
Monday. Do that.
So,
That'll probably be
Robert,
the
before you go,
last Malty Monday.
Did you want to shout anything? Did you want to shout anything out? Did you got any Pappy Van Winkle or anything like that?
He's gone. He's gone.
He made eye contact with his wife. That's what happened. William, I guess it's your turn.
Yeah, I failed to show my can originally, so there's the.
Oh, you got the big.
Oh, you got the big one. Nice.
Yeah, the
Is that a
19.2 ounce can is becoming sort of like the standard now for a lot of the craft beers. Whatever, how they arrived at 19.2, I don't know, but anyway.
I think it is 19.2, but
and mine's about gone. This is very quaffable.
Yeah.
A sessionable, crushable.
One thing I like about this style is so nice.
Yeah.
I looked up a couple of food pairings for this. Watermelon salad, queso fresco, and Greek yogurt lemon mousse. So,
a yuppie wrote that, right?
Yeah.
Hipsters and stuff.
I didn't want to say it, but that's right.
Right, we're gonna have some
I'll
salmon.
say it.
That's yuppie material there.
I don't care.
Tuna fish.
But for this one, I have it's a little difficult for style because this is a mashup. It's really it would be in the wheat ale fruit category, but not technically a ghost. So my rating is going to be basically on just how did I enjoy it or not. I mean, the bottom line, it comes down, do you like the beer or not? And because this one doesn't fall in any particular style, but I like it. For a summertime beer, like I say, very refreshing. I like that little acidity with the dry finish. It ends very strong. It's like having a good third period
I need to pick me up.
in a hockey game. Finish strong. So for this, I would give it a 93. Right in the A range.
All right.
For just enjoyability, drinkability. I enjoy it. And
a lot of the Dogfish Head stuff is overhyped and overrated. That's one of the few that's
that
actually
beer is
worth the
not
money, in my
overhyped.
opinion. No,
And I
no,
think-
I'm not. I'm agreeing.
I know.
That's what I'm
It's-
saying. That's one of the few Dogfish Head beers that is actually worth it to me.
There's a
And
For
it's,
me,
it's,
yeah,
a reasonable,
people
it's
have
a
a
reasonable
big-
price point
big
too.
vendetta
Yeah.
against Dogfish Head. Like it's not craft beer, they're macro, and they sold out or this or that. But
No,
I don't know. I don't know. Some people are funny about Dogfish Head. And I'm not that kind of way. I mean, I really
I'm
enjoy
not
that.
funny about it like that. I just think they make a lot of stuff that is supposed to be really, really good, and then I try it, and I'm very disappointed. That's one of the ones that I'm not disappointed in.
Absolutely not.
Has nothing to do with macro, micro, anything like that, because I drink everything. So
For me, the addition of the coals sort of puts this over the top for me. The Ghost I had before it was sort of meh, it was okay, but I liked a little bit of the additional maltiness to it, the traditional German style of the Kolsch, and all these mesh really well. They sync well together. And so this is a case where I think the sum is greater than the individual parts. When you start mixing things, sometimes it can be a little bit dicey. It can go into ditch. But with this one, I think, like I say, it meshed well together. A good synchronization for beer. So that's what sort of raised the level for me. But I'll definitely get this one again during the summer. We've still got probably 2 more months of hot weather here in North Carolina. So I will probably add this one maybe into my rotation. It's more than just an outlier for me. I do like it.
You can definitely drink that sequence with some seafood too. So
it would go with some definitely seafood.
So any news on your channel, William?
I'd like to start if I could. I'm in a pretty good place right now to maybe try to do maybe something on a weekly theme basis. Maybe do the IPA beer tournament, maybe, or either the beer ladder, where you start with a 4 ABV and you move up one each week. To do that, which would be very inclusive. I'd like to start one of those and maybe have a set night for doing it, and try to get back into do that on a rotation. And I've got all kinds. I've got a bunch of crazy ideas, but anyway, those are 2 things that maybe get started back. Like I finished the regular beer tournament, and I'd like to do the IPA, and then maybe or either start the beer. John Anile calls the beer ladder. I like that title too, where you move on up each week.
We can play shoots and ladders with beer.
And
Mousetrap.
But the name of my fledgling channel is "What's the ABV?" ?
Yeah.
And, so
not to be confused with beer chugs.
Yeah, beer chugs.
What's the ABV game?
Mine is phonetically correct. I have the verb is in there and the question mark. But if anybody ever when I did that, I got on YouTube. That was about the 5th name I picked. I like Ferment Nation, that was picked. Boozapalooza, that was out. And finally and nothing came up on what's the ABV, which is one of the most common metaphors or terms people, when they start talking about beer, what's the ABV? So I picked that one. And at that time, when I searched, that nothing else came up. But if
winner,
those guys,
chicken dinner.
If anybody has any qualms about it, I'd change my name tomorrow.
No, nobody has any qualms about it.
But anyway, that was not intentional. But I did put phonetically. I did have the verb in there. What's?
Yes.
And
it just gets confusing. It gets confusing talking about it sometimes. We're gonna go over to
you got anybody in the basement?
Really quick, guys. I posted. William's channel is very difficult to find if you're not already subscribed. I just posted the link to his channel in the chat, so everybody watching can go check him out. Because if you just type in "what's the ABV," you get everything but William's channel. So there's his link in the live chat. Y'all go check him out.
Awesome. Well, I am going to talk about the Hobbs Brewing Company, Salinity now. Going into craft beer stores, a couple of them around my area, a lot of people are like, it wasn't just the raspberry one. They've had a couple different variations. But when I was looking for GOSEs and stuff earlier on this year, the craft beer store lackeys, I don't know, workers, pushers. They said, oh, you gotta try the salinity now, and I'm like, I kind of know. I just kind of go around and find what I haven't had, and what I'm looking for, and I'm good. But anyways, I'm glad that I did try it, and I think they were pushing it for a reason. It actually is it's a pretty good beer. I'm gonna score this one at a 95 out of 100.
Yeah,
I thought it all rolled together nice with the kind of the lighter raspberry notes, and still got a little bit of that beer quality to it, along with having the salt actually from a local source is cool too. So 95 out of 100. So I'd recommend trying it. Plenty of good goses out there though. I have had I was looking at bringing some of those Imperials I've had. Like there's one from Two Roads. It's called 2 Kila, which is they basically make it like a lime tequila margarita type.
Sounds good.
Drink it. That was really good. It is barrel aged. Yeah. Barrel aged. It's a lot like the Founders one, the Mas Agave. The Mas Agave has a much larger ABV. That one's really good too. There are some that I would have scored like 98 to 100, but 95 out of 100 is not bad. So Malty Mondays, besides my regular little videos and stuff that I put out, Malty Mondays happen every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We create a poll, unless it's somebody's birthday. Yes, that's something I kind of started up. If it's your birthday, you get to choose the beer, as long as your birthday lands on the Malty Monday. Or if it's going to be like
my dad's birthday's on the 17th, man.
Well, you get your dad involved in this. Yeah, on panel.
I'll talk to him, man.
But if we have like a you can't even think, a holiday. There we go. A holiday coming up, and it's going to be around a Malty Monday. I might just choose a certain style to go with that holiday. But other than that, we create a poll after the show. Everybody that's in panel is welcome to come up and create that poll. We choose 4 different styles that we haven't gone through yet, and then that's put out for everybody to vote on. The links are left in our various Hangout groups. If you're not part of the Hangout groups, I'm going to leave it in the description of this video. So once this video posts, you don't have to watch it. You just find the description when you click on the thing, and you can find the poll there. The polling stops on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it gives you like a day and a half or so to, vote on the style. Yeah, after Wildcard Wednesday is when I usually do it. I'll leave a short video saying what the beer is going to be for Malty Monday. Very short. You don't have to comment on it. You don't have to like it. It's just there to basically let the viewers know if they don't know, if they can't find the polls or whatnot, or just want to hear me say the style coming up.
I'm not going to be on after. Could you add Quad as a potential beer into the 4 that you might choose?
Yes.
Yep.
Michael gets a quad. As a potential. It's a potential. So I do ask everybody that's going to be there what style, and then we kind of vote off until we get down to the 4. So, but I will write down Quad right now. Quad is going to be one of them from Mike.
Goses are awesome, man.
One interesting thing about tonight, everybody except Robert gave their beer an A, I'm pretty sure. So it's obviously a pretty well-liked style.
Yeah, it's not bad. And I think like Berliner Weisses, it kind of mentioned that in the guidelines. They're kind of, Berliner Weisses and Goses are 1 and 2 in hand. The Goses are a little bit less on the sour side, a little more on the tart, and they have the saltiness. The Berliner Weisses are they're kind of tart to sometimes more sour, but they're very similar. So I think if you like a nice, easy to go into sour, something that's not like a super sour, but it's just kind of on that tart to sour side, the Berliner Weisses or Goses are easy to get into. So especially if you're not, into beer itself or craft beer. What else am I going to say? I want to say thank you to everybody on the panel. Everybody that's in the basement that was on panel. Thank you all for showing up for another Malty Monday. And I want to thank the awesome chat with the viewers, everybody that's been here just chugging along as this channel thing, the Malty Monday, has grown. So I appreciate you all. And as always, I want to say, even if you can't join up on panel, look for the style that we're going to be doing. So if you want to just watch or join up and chat along, you can still drink the style that we're all drinking on panel. You get to hear a little bit of the history about it. If William Kepley's here, we can get a little bit more history on it. So that's awesome. I appreciate you for coming in and giving some extra for the history, because that is important, I find, especially in beer. I love beer history. I don't know a lot of it myself. I like to read about it and stuff, though, so it's always good to hear somebody that just has the knowledge and put it right out to you. But appreciate you all. We're gonna go hopefully join up with Beer Man. Are you gonna create like a thing so you can hold more folks? We're gonna create that poll, and it'll be out there sometime later on tonight. That poll, so be on the lookout for it so we can pick the next Malty Monday beer. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Right now, I'm drinking some PJ Pilsner because
I'm on an IPA.
during quarantine, everybody's been in their PJs. Cheers.